Have you ever felt nervous to speak up and say something at a restaurant when your food's not right and the waiter comes by and says, "How is everything?"
What's the worst thing that can happen if my food is bad? What's the worst thing that can happen if you wear a hijab in a video? This is Mia Khalifa. And I feel like if you're a man and you don't live under a rock, you know who she is. She's talking about the adult film industry and the experience she had with that.
Let's go through this step by step. How did a girl who was brought by her parents to the United States from Lebanon, your home country, schooled in the United States, clearly smart, went to university in Texas, read history. How did you get involved with the sex porn industry?
I don't think low self-esteem discriminates against anyone. It doesn't matter if you come from a great family or if you come from a not so great background. I struggled my entire childhood with weight, and I never felt attractive or worthy of male attention. And suddenly, my first year of college, I start losing all this weight from making small changes. And by the time I graduated, I was ready to make a bigger difference. I felt extremely self-conscious about my breasts because that was the first thing to go when I lost all the weight. I lost about 50 pounds. I don't know how many kilos that is, or stones.
Well, it's a considerable amount of weight.
Yeah.
It changed your body, it changed you physically.
Completely.
Yeah.
So my biggest insecurity was my breasts. So I wanted to more or less go back to what they normally were. And once I did that, I started garnering all of this attention from men, and I was never used to it.
Y'all
and I
know
felt
where
like
this is going,
unless I held on to it and kind of did what was asked of me or what was expected of me, it would go away. And after feeling what it was like, that validation and, you know, the compliments for the first time, I did not want that to go away.
Mm.
So as far as right now, it's a sad story. It's a really sad story. A girl that was overweight and obviously very insecure about her weight. People used to make fun of her, and as a girl, you know, all the other girls are getting attention from men, validation from men, and she never got that validation from men. To an extent, you feel bad for her. So far, she said, if I don't do what's asked of me, which means participating in sexual activities with men, she would lose that attention. It makes sense. It's so sad. She never got the male attention. Now she finally got it, and they're asking her, suck my dick and shit. She's sucking it because she doesn't want to lose that attention. So sad, such a sad story. Let's see how this turns out.
You were spotted, I think, on a street. I mean, there you were a young graduate wanting to sort of find a job, and you were spotted on a street by a guy who said, I can work with you, and clearly he opened up and said, it's the porn business. What was it in you that far from running away, was drawn into it?
It wasn't, that's not how it was. It wasn't just, hey, do you want to come do porn? It was more so, oh, you're beautiful. Like, would you like to do some modeling? Oh, you know, you have a great body. Like, I think you'd be great in nude modeling. Things like that. And after I came and toured the studio, you know, it was very respectable.
And this is where I stopped feeling bad, right? She's from outside the country. So, as you can obviously tell, her parents are very strict, right? I think she comes from a Muslim background as well. I don't know. Don't quote me on that, right? And you can just definitely tell that she went against her parents to do this. To model, to nude model. There was a time she felt untouchable. She said no to everybody. Literally getting naked on camera. And that's where I stopped feeling bad. I understand that, like, oh my God, you never got that attention. When you finally got that attention, you wanted to keep it, no matter what the cost were. But that's behind closed doors.
Well, it was a gorgeous location. It was in Miami, in Doral, Florida. It was clean. Everyone who worked there was nice. All of their cubicles were decorated with family photos. Like, it was nothing dodgy or that made me uncomfortable. And after the first time I went in wasn't the first time I filmed a porn movie. It was the second time. The first time was more so, do you want to do this? Like, sign the paperwork, et cetera, et cetera.
These guys, they just...
That doesn't change the fact that you signed it. And this is what I mean. She's gonna deflect the whole time, and I can tell. Oh, she was scared. Oh, she felt the need to sign it. Blah, 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 blah. And it's kind of making her previous story about her being insecure, it's making it less believable. You understand what I'm saying? Now, like, I don't even believe that shit no more. Because you're literally excusing signing papers to do pornography. Like, if she had a background where her parents were okay with it, okay. Like, if her mom was a porn star, okay. If this was seen as normal from her background, okay. But this is far from normal. I know she went against her parents, against her culture, against her religion to go through with this. You're not fucking scared. You're scared, bro.
Saw you, frankly, as a money machine.
Absolutely.
But you still had no advisors, you had no lawyer, you had no nothing. So
I was what 21-year-old has a lawyer on retainer?
I'm just trying to get my head around how stressful this must have been, and whether even now, because you sit here so poised, and obviously a lot of time has passed and you've moved on, but do you think there is some sort of post-traumatic stress that is in you from this experience?
Yes, and I think it kicks in mostly when I go out in public, because the stares I get, I feel like people can see through my clothes, and it brings me deep shame. It makes me feel like
You're a porn star.
I lost all right to my privacy, which I did, because I'm one Google search away.
One Google search away. And you will never be able to take that off. Do you guys understand that she signed papers that if she had an awakening like this, oh my God, this is bad for me, I regret doing all this. You can't take that video off the internet? You can't. Do you understand that? Even if she felt like, oh my God, like, oh, this is, I regret this, blah, blah, blah. She signed the papers where she recorded a video that she doesn't even have a right to put it down. First of all, whatever goes on the internet stays on the internet. If she deleted it, there are people that screen recorded it. There's people that have it downloaded. They're going to post it. It doesn't matter. But she legally even cannot. The companies that she worked for, they have all rights to that video. They're not putting it down. That's so sad, bro. Like, no matter, this is a mistake that's going to follow you, hunt you for the rest of your life.
And those images you cannot expunge. You have no right, even though it is deeply personal
That's
to you,
so
you have no
sad.
right to remove them from anybody's view around the world.
Yeah,
That's so
It is
sad.
very hard.
it is.
And I'm just thinking, this isn't, I mean, this story is your story, but frankly, it's also the story of other porn actors and actresses.
No, but chat, you see her really sad right now. It is sad. It is sad right now, blah, blah. Search her up. Real shit, search her up. You can't fake the laughs. You can only fake things to an extent. She was laughing, sucking dick. She was laughing, getting clapped, gangbanged on camera. If you feel sad for her, search her name up on Google. And that sadness gonna go away in a heartbeat.
I honestly started seeing that recently after the interview came out, and people
Yo,
started reaching
Easy
out.
was
and,
goody.
all of the emails go, my manager checks them. And when he gets stuff like that, he filters them and sends them to me. And reading the words of some of these girls who have been sex trafficked and forced into porn, and all of these stories of girls whose lives have been ruined by it, and by men who have taken advantage of them, and by contracts that they didn't even understand the jargon of, it makes me feel like, okay, maybe it was good that I started talking and that I
Right.
posted this interview and that I'm speaking out now, because other people feel the same way. And even if they don't relate on as deep a level as, doing porn, they can relate on the level of being insecure and being pressured into doing something they
Right.
didn't want to do.
You were wearing the Islamic headscarf, often known as hijab, and of course then it developed into a sort of a sex scene. You must have known how provocative that was.
Chat, this is not even fucking funny. Look at me in my eyes when I say this. And she received fucking death threats for this. She wore a hijab and made a porn video, bro. How can you feel bad for a bitch like this? I know, wait, correct me if I'm wrong. She has Islam in her background. She's from Lebanon, I believe. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. Not only did she go against her parents to do this shit, to do even porn in general. Not only did she go against her culture, against her religion, she disrespected her fucking religion by wearing a hijab in a porn video. I swear to God, bro, you can't feel empathy for bitches like this. They deserve it. You've lost your mind.
I verbatim told them, you guys are going to get me killed.
And they said?
They just laughed.
Do you see what she's doing? You probably laughed saying that. Saying, you guys gonna get me killed. Why are you... If you thought it was gonna get you killed, you should have never done it. It's so sad. She said, oh, they just laughed it off. Well, what you want them to do? They're getting money from it. You're the only one getting heat.
Why didn't you then say, I'm not doing it?
Intimidation. I was scared.
You were scared to say no, not only to doing porn, but to doing porn with a hijab on. You were scared. You're scared of the men in the room. At the end of the day, they can't force you to do shit, right? They can't force you. Can walk out any day. You have to sign a contract at the end of the day. They make sure they got your consent. So you're scared to say no to wearing a hijab in a porn scene, but you're not scared of wearing a hijab in a porn scene. You make no sense. Stop making fucking excuses. It's so sad. You're not scared of your fucking parents. You're not scared of God. But you're scared of some men in the goddamn room telling you, whoa, it's okay, wear a hijab in the porn scene, blah, blah, blah. Those so sad, bro. It's not even that I'm passionate about it. It's just so sad. You're not fucking scared. Stop lying. This shit was probably funny to you. Think you're on top of the world. No, but you're feeling untouchable.
I knew that if I said no, it would, you know, they're not going to force you to do it.
No.
That's, at that point, that's rape. No one's going to force you to have sex. But I was still scared. I mean, have you ever felt scared not scared, but nervous to speak up and say something at a restaurant when your food's not right and the waiter comes by and says, how is everything?
What's the worst thing that can happen if my food is bad? How I throw up, get sick a little bit. What's the worst thing that can happen if you wear a hijab in a video?
I was intimidated. I was nervous.
We interview a lot of people, and many of them are middle-aged or older. It's great to have somebody in the studio who's only 26 years old. There is a school of thought which says that our culture as a whole, I'm not just talking about the United States or the UK, but many, many countries, is being pornified, and that young people in particular are so exposed to pornography, so young in their lives, that it's materially changing the way males and females relate to each other, the way they think about relationships in a potentially very corrosive, damaging way.
Wait, Chad, don't you find it so crazy that female sex workers, females that do OnlyFans, females that do porn, know that little boys watch them, and they're okay with it? No, real shit. Well, Chad, actually think about it. Don't y'all think that's weird? Like, okay, let's say you were a porn star and you knew majority of your viewers are little girls. Would you be okay with it and keep making videos? Like, she's genuinely okay with 14, 13-year-old boys beating their shit to her. No, that's deep. That's actually crazy. Like, if I was a sex worker, most of these sex workers be saying, oh my God, like, it makes me feel like so connected. I'm passionate about it, blah, blah, blah. Okay, let them have that. But how do you feel knowing that most of your audience are underage boys? Are you okay with that? That doesn't make you want to stop? If you're making millions, I don't give a fuck. By the way, she does not make millions. You know the hijab video she did? She didn't get paid for it. Word to my mother, she didn't get paid for it.
What's your take on that?
Of course it affects relationships.
I swear to
porn
God.
addiction is very prevalent in America, and I'm sure here too. The things that men see in videos, they expect from the women in their lives, and that's just not reality. No one is going to be...
Now you want to be all inspirational and shit like that. Look, let's watch this video real quick.
Men are the easiest thing in the entire world. If you are wondering how you and another woman got the same man, it is because men are the easiest thing in the entire world. I have never wanted a man and not gotten him. Do you have any idea how many men have wanted me and not gotten me? Granted, some dusties have caught me slipping. But there has never been a single man that I have wanted that I have not gotten, because men...
If you guys don't know who she is, she's a porn star. She claims that she can get any guy in the world, which I don't disagree with. Yes, you can get any man in the world, but can you keep a man? What's getting a man to you? Yes, I believe you can fuck any man in the world. But can you get a man that would provide for you? Give you a happy family. Give you a house. Buy you a car. Get on one knee and propose to you. Can you get a man like that? No, I don't think so, because you would have a ring on your finger by now. You pushing 30, Mia Khalifa. And believe it or not, you would think she's a millionaire. She's not. Her monthly income, search it up on Google, is 30K. With all the social media and shit combined. It's not cutting it. She not cool with her parents. She got nobody. She got nobody. She's alone in this world. She can get any man. Let me correct you. You can fuck any man. You can't keep any man. You can't keep a single man in the world. Because if you could, you would have been married by now. No man is gonna cuff you knowing those videos are out on the internet. Sorry. That's what comes with being a porn star. It's real shit. And she wants to come out here talking about men are easy. Get on her ass, man. Man, real shit, man.